Media Unplugged with Tom Asacker and Mark Ramsey.
Why create another podcast about media? This is episode 0, as they call it in the business, the prequel episode of Media Unplugged, revealing the signal in today's media noise. I'm Mark Ramsey.
I'm Tom Asacker.
And this is Media Unplugged. Tom, why in the world are we doing this?
I have no idea, but I'll tell you. A part of the reason is you think about it, like what isn't media today, right? I mean, there's so many different tools available to store and deliver information, so many different channels through which people can communicate to others. I think it's critical that we tease this apart.
Well, teasing it apart also allows us to kind of reveal a hidden layer, and I think that's really the most important thing. That's what makes this so interesting to me, is the idea that there's something going on that isn't obvious. There's something going on that isn't superficial. There's a hidden truth, if you will, behind a lot of the stuff that we call media today, and there's a hidden agenda in some cases, and there's just a whole layer of stuff that's happening for reasons that aren't obvious that I find fascinating. You and I have talked a lot about that.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course it's hidden. We are consuming media so often that we don't even, I mean, we've come a long way since cave paintings, right? I mean, our video games.
I personally have, I know that.
Our video games media, is our TED videos media, is Twitter media, is Google Plus media. You know what? It's all media. So, I mean, I can't think of a more exciting industry than media right now, or a more important one.
But one of the things we've talked about extensively is that, there's a lot of choices, a lot of stuff to consume out there, but there's something deeper going on in many cases, and there's, some of these trends are kind of hidden in the bushes, and the ability to winnow those out, I think, is really valuable.
Yeah, I think we'll be able to, I mean, look, my hopes is that we can express our thoughts as clearly and concisely as possible, and hopefully tease some kind of insights out of this chaos, because I've been studying the marketplace and consuming media in all forms for a long time. But I'm as naive as the next guy about where this is really all heading. I have my own ideas about what's going on and what's going to play out, but I think this is great that we get a chance to actually investigate it a little more deeply.
Yeah, clearly things are heading in kind of an unpredictable direction, and I like the idea of being able to go deep into some of those areas and focus on them, because I think you're right. I think it's something that fascinates everybody, that everybody's wrapped up in, and everyone today is a maker and consumer of media at the same time, and that isn't how it always was. What is a newspaper today? What is a radio station? What is a television show? I mean, we don't even use the word TV anymore. Now it's video. What are the consequences of that? To create a podcast, is that audio? Is that radio? What is that? And why is that? And what does it matter? And what does it add up to? These are the kinds of topics that I think we're going to take one at a time, maybe more than one at a time, every single week and dive into, right?
Oh, listen, all of this really matters, because think about it. If you define this category, media, the way we broadly are looking at it, this is affecting millions of people, of professionals. I mean, from journalists, producers, publishers, to photographers, creative directors, media personalities. Everyone is going to be affected by this evolution of this thing we call media. And I mean, the other thing I know is that, what we listen to and what we read and watch has a powerful effect on our beliefs and behavior. So I hope you and I can take ourselves lightly, but it's critically important that we not take media and its effect on our futures and the world too lightly, because it is a powerful force.
Exactly right. And the questions that people ask and the premises that people begin with have so much influence over the direction that people head. I know in the world of audio, the world of radio, I mean, if people view their parameters as a quote-unquote radio station, whatever that means, then they never invest in things which go beyond those parameters. The same is true in print. The same is true in outdoor. The same is true in any other platform. I had a guy say to me today he's creating a platform online in association with the broadcast company that is a radio broadcast company, and he said the platform has nothing to do with radio at all. Just getting a lot of people in that industry to sponsor an effort like that in that industry is antithetical because it's so unfamiliar to their history in that industry, right?
Oh, yeah, listen, who we think we are is usually how we map out our future. So if we can give people some ideas and insights on what people are creating, maybe they can envision themselves creating something new and something powerful in the near term in order to satisfy their audiences. I mean, and that's the other thing we're going to get into is that, media as a business has multiple audiences, and we need to really think about all of these audiences and how we appeal to them.
And that is why we are creating Media Unplugged. That's Media Unplugged for this week. I'm Mark Ramsey.
I'm Tom Asacker.
Thanks for listening.